I am Neo Larthos. I am the next Abdullah. You are the next Neville Goddard. Your SP gets wet every single time they think of you. And your bank account makes Jeff Bezos look homeless. If you guys want to work with me, the links are down below. And subscribe for daily manifestation content. How SPs transform into the version you want. So let's say you're manifesting a specific person who works with you, right? It's someone who you've never even spoken before with. But while there's other females that give you attention, or if you're a woman watching this, there's other males that will look at you and just cannot stop looking at your backside, right? But with this certain guy, with this certain girl, the first time they saw you, they gave you a look of disgust. You're like, oh man, they'll never talk to me. What's even the point of asking for the number? What's even the point of creating a conversation? And maybe even while other people are interested in getting to know you, every time that you try to even ask them about, hey, where do I find the copy machine? It's right there. They don't even look at you. They're very cold. How do you get a specific person to go from that to in love with you? Now, of course, there's different scenarios. Some of you guys, they are not as cold. Maybe you're just trying to manifest an ex. Maybe it's someone who you share custody with. But I'm using the worst case scenario, because if you can manifest somebody who looks like they hate your guts, then of course the same rules apply with other scenarios. So back to the first example. How does an SP go from that to this? And if any of you guys have YouTube Premium, I was holding a heart. Oh, how do they get to be in love with you? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to share an assumption that I've held even before I became the next Abdullah. Rejection is never final. I remember there was a girl who, thin Latina, I don't know what it was, but I don't know what it is with Latinas, okay? Actually, I do know, but again, YouTube, they keep spanking me all the time with these age restrictions, so I think I'll let you guys use your imagination for this one, all right? That's your homework for tonight. You want to talk about sats, you can do that. Latinas, okay? She was one of them. I was hitting on her, right? Obviously not with my fists, but with my game. And she told me, you're not my type. But because I had such a high self-concept, and this was around the time that I was barely dabbling in the wax of Neville, okay? I was like, Abdullah, right? Barbados, okay? I was dabbling, and I already had a decent self-concept, right? Because your boy even was one of the most charismatic individuals in high school without even being on the football team, okay? I just walked down the hallway and they were like, there he is, all right? Part of it was because I had a big forehead, but I just told myself it's because I have too much RAM, okay? All right? You're talking 200 gigabytes, 4 terabytes of just greatness, wisdom that I'm sharing with you guys. Back to the Latina. Because I had a high self-concept, when she told me, you're not my type, Neo, there was about a couple of seconds where I started thinking, it's because I'm ugly, it's because I'm white, she likes more buff Mexicans with tattoos on the skull that look like they are going to shank you just because you don't sell meth, right? And no, by the way, I'm not racist. I'm actually part Hispanic, and many Latinas know that I love the Mexican culture. But either ways, it only took about 2 seconds, and then something just took a hold of me, and I continued with my game. I continued with my flirtations, not in a creepy, pushy way, but she already showed me some signs before when we were working together. Again, call HR. Where I sort of got hints. But again, she still was a little stoic too. Well, because I still didn't budge, and because I wasn't like, oh, she just friend zoned me. One day, we're just, I don't know, cracking jokes, whatever. She's being a little teasy with me. And next thing you know, I pull her bra strap from the back of her shirt. She goes to the bathroom. She texts me later on that night saying that she had to go to the bathroom to, let's just say, not to play hopscotch, okay, but to play with something else, okay? And no, not her Rubik's Cube, right? Who the hell can even solve those things? She was trying to solve the Rubik's Cube of her affection for me. That same night, she sent me a nude, all right? She started calling me babe. And let's just say that thank God HR didn't get involved afterwards. This was all after she told me that I'm not her type, right? Now, did I do something to change your opinion of me? One could say that in the courts of the law that, oh, well, it's because you became more confident. But no, I was the same person. I manifested a different version of her. She wasn't acting the same like she was before. She went from being stoic to days when I didn't feel like talking to her. She would text me that night and say, you didn't even say hi to me. She wasn't doing that before. A lot of you guys hear about the red pill content creators like, you see, once you pull back, they always come crawling, match and mirror. Guys, instead of match and mirror, let them mirror you. You see, when I remembered who I was, when I saw myself and remembered that no girl saying that I'm not her type is enough for me to reject myself, I walked like the guy regardless after she told me that. Like the guy who was in love with himself, because most guys would have given up right there. But I simply told myself, no, I've been here before. All women drool over me. If I'm not their type, I become my type. I've had other girls tell me that they only date tall guys. And yet, there we are doing things that we cannot tell mama about, that YouTube wants to cancel me for. Okay? Guys, I'm done. If you want to hear what happened, watch all my manifestation receipt videos. Okay? I have to stay here to tell you guys about all this wisdom. I can't go into detail. That's what the Patreon is for. That's what the membership is for. Okay? But you guys get the point. How do you get an SP to go from not interested to high interest to they're chasing you? It's simple. You don't see it as a process. You don't watch it grow like the way a flower grows into the beautiful plant after you planted the seed. You simply understand that the moment that you see themselves in love with you up here is the moment where you can say it's done and you rest like the Sabbath. You rest, you go about your day, even though in the 3D, they are still saying you're not their type. They are still saying, "Ew, get away from me." Heck, they still have a third party. But you already saw in your brain how it is. And that's how it must be. But you see, honest to God, it's never the technique that many people fuck up on. It is what they do after. Right? It's easy to talk a big game, but when you face the nitty-gritty, that's where your true colors shine. That's where Mike Tyson really hits you with the uppercut. That's where push really comes to shove. When you have an SP who, even though you said my crazy self-pedestalizations on repeat 10 times in the past hour, and yet it seems like in the 3D, your SP, I mean, she bumped into you and she was like, "Ew, don't touch me." Your ego is like, what? What? Before she was just not talking to me, and now she went out of her way to say, "Don't touch me." Oh, now I really fucked up. Now, you see, this manifestation shit sucks. It's all a lie. It's all a scam. But many people know that the 3D is only going to show what you've been giving yourself internally before. You got to ask yourself, what were you doing before you did those techniques? If you were not saying stuff like, "My SP worships the toilet that I take a shit in. My SP sacrifices all the prized possessions just to breathe the air of my existence. They only get hard for me. They only get wet for me. They worship me. I am their God. They can't eat, sleep, or breathe apart from me." If you were not saying things like that, instead you were just simply checking the 3D, guess what? The 3D is all that you will get. Negativity, rejection, third parties will come in left and right. Before you see your manifestation of your reflection of all these techniques, of all these sat sessions, of all these inner conversations and imaginal acts, these self-pedestalizations. But you see, this is where people don't understand that they fuck up, is when they check the 3D. Why? Why? Because if you do 50,000 robotic affirmations, but if you just simply go, "Did it work yet?" That is like doing robotic affirmations throughout the day, saying, "My SP married somebody else. My SP married somebody else. My SP married somebody else. They hate me. They hate me. They're disgusted by me. I'm ugly. I'm an ugly sack of shit who will never get SP." You literally did just that by going, "Where is it?" All you have to do is think, did it work? Like Hawkeye, when he, or excuse me, not, who was it? Like the Avengers, after they did the snap in Avengers Endgame. It worked. Of course it worked, motherfucker. It's instant. But when you check the 3D, that's an imaginal act in itself. But here is hope. Here is the gospel. Your redemption is always up here. If you check the 3D, if you make a mistake, all you got to do is simply go back. No, you don't have to redo all the affirmations you did and like, oh shit, I got to do it all over again. All you got to do is say, yeah, I checked the 3D, but that was an old identity. That is another version of me. I'm the version who has SP, who is in love with me, who adores me, who puts me on the pedestal, who sees me as the only man, the only woman that could ever satisfy them. Even when I breathe, every single time I blink, they love me more and more. That's literally all you got to do. You don't have to feel anything. You could be saying it with tears rolling down your face, and boom, you just went back to that reality. As long as you keep going back, it will show up. But just know that the longer you take to stay in that awareness is the longer it will take to show up. Why? Because 3D will have to show you the past. And every single time you give yourself something in the now negative, it will become your past, because 1 second ago of this video is the past. So understand that 3D is past, 4D is current, but when you make your consistent current, your consistent 4D, nothing but you having the life that you want, then guess what? It will eventually push out all the stuff that you've been giving yourself in the 3D on repeat, and that will become your new 3D. And someone's gonna say, do I have to continue imagining? By the time you get in your 3D, because it became so a part of you, your ego will follow suit, and you won't have to argue with it anymore. All you will say is, I am this way, SP is obsessed, I am their addiction, and there's no negative voice, unwanted inner conversation that can talk shit anymore and get in your way. And that, my friends, is the true end game. But if you want to know how to get there, I offer the best consultations with the best prices that there ever will be. I am Neil Larthos. This is all that the I Am Awareness had to say. And I know you're going to be okay.